Oh, ooh. There we go. That was a little better. Hello and welcome to another edition of Vinyl Night. I am your past tense, present tense with no pretense, Johnny C. Tonight's episode, The Fate We All Await. But before we get rolling with that, vinylnight.weebly.com, vinylnight.weebly.com for the finest in the blogosphere, written record, a few photos here and there, vinylnight.weebly.com. Ask for it by name. Also, before we get rolling, it's the rock and roll. It's the music biz game. Rock and roll, the music biz game. Lovely features in there. We have our little spinner here is a nice little flying V guitar, and then we've got kind of like a record player kind of thing with stuff on here, and some of the cards here have a cassette, outline of a cassette on there. Never played the game yet. I don't know if I ever will, but I saw it. It was only 45 cents. I had to have it. Rock and roll, the music biz game. Learn all about it. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get on to it. Anyway, I was at a local thrift store here, checking out the records section. They didn't have a lot of records, but they had a nice little selection of records. Ray Thomas from Mighty Oaks, and of course Ray Thomas was in the Moody Blues. But this person did put their little name tag identifying address sticker on the top of that. But, well, you know, that's the way that goes. Another one, same gentleman. As I said, I found 6 or 7 from this same person. Justin Hayward, of course, in the Moody Blues. There was one other Moody Blues record in there. Couple other records. But the one that kind of stood out for me was this one, the Sanders Holiday Band. Once again, your little label up there. This one happened to be autographed on the back here, and I'll get into that in a little bit here. But in looking at the album, I see that they're from Greenville, South Carolina. So now it's kind of like inquiring minds want to know, how did Greenville, South Carolina, a regional band, make it up to the Midwest here? As you can see, the address and the name label here is done out, tried to be taken out with the old magic marker, but somebody used a green marker on the name, and sure enough, Johnny was able to, let's get it in the right light. You get in the right light, shine a nice light on there. Before you know it, I'm able to make out the name and the address. So when I do make out the name and the address, I mean, this person, where the house is on here is only 15 minutes away. So now it's kind of like, you know what? Let's find out a little bit more. Just for the hell of it, let's look this gentleman up and see if I can find him anywhere, mentioned anywhere. And unfortunately, I did find him in the obituaries. But fortunately, you can glean some information from the obituaries, and one of the items that was listed in his obituary was that he never missed an opportunity to go see live music. So I guess that pretty much explains the autographs. Maybe they had the merch for sale on there, or Randy and Peggy, you know, from each guy. It's a 3-piece band here. Also, from looking at his obituary, he lived in and worked in various places besides the Midwest, and one of them was Greenville, North Carolina. So when I'm looking on the map there, Greenville, North Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina, not, a little bit of distance, but, um, you know, uh, it was hard to find a lot of information on the Sanders Holiday Band, but it seems that, they were a pretty good regional act. This album isn't too bad itself. Power pop, three-piece band. We even get the publicity photo in there, whether or not this was in the record or he got it at the show when he got the autographs on here. I don't know. Hard to say. Nothing written on this, but nonetheless, there it is. So I get to find out basically, I guess, how it got from South Carolina to the Midwest. He obviously took some of his record collection with him when he left there and came back here. Another little tidbit in the obituary was that he had an extensive collection of music, especially the Beatles. So now it's kind of like, darn, I wonder where those Beatles records are. Was it something that was valuable enough that he left to maybe his kids, or I see that the wife and maybe one of the kids still lived in North Carolina. So, you know, do they have it? And, did the thrift store have them hiding in back somewhere? Or, are they going to... Made the mind wander on exactly, what was up with his Beatles collection. It would have been nice to see. Either way, this is now in my possession, and I find out it's from the fate that we all await, from somebody's obituary. All this stuff is going to end up somewhere, someday or another. My son is interested in most of these records. I don't know if he's going to take the time to go through all of them. I certainly hope he does take the time to listen to each and every one of them. I know that might be a bit of an undertaking, but musical tastes sometimes they change when you get a little bit older or a little bit wiser. You might be able to tolerate things that you weren't able to tolerate. Then again, maybe not. So either way, the Sanders Holiday Band, from South Carolina to the Midwest. Now I know why. The fate we all await. Good final night.